Back home in his country, Syria, he worked in the agriculture department at the University of Damascus, where he was known as the professor of bees. He had 500 beehives and had been researching bees for many years when civil war broke out and all his hives were destroyed.
Yeah, his hives were destroyed. Yeah, hives are uh, where the bees are, no, or where the bees stay. Mhm. Then it says Dr. Ryan Alsus, the university professor and beekeeper who arrived in England with only the jacket he was wearing. Yeah, he arrived to England with that. Uh-huh. Then we have here other part of the text. Dr. Alsus' daughter Razan. Doctor's Alsus' daughter Razan. Who would like to read? Who says me? Any volunteer for reading?
Me, me teacher.
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Aslow's daughter, Razan, had already left Syria. She had moved to England with her husband and three children. They were living in Huddersfield in the northwest, where Razan was setting up the Yorkshire Dama Cheese Company, producing squeaky, Syrian style cheese using Yorkshire milk. This has since become extremely successful and won many awards. Dr. Laszlo says, Razan told us it was a friendly place and the people had been good to her. So my wife and I came here.
Then it says Razan's award-winning Yorkshire Dama Cheese Company. Yorkshire is the place in north of England. York, yeah, York. That's why, because of the immigration, it is called New York because of this, no Yorkshire. All right. So continue reading. Who would
Me
like to
teacher.
continue reading? This is me. Right, Betsa? Dr.
The
Alsos needed.
needed work. He had left Syria with just the jacket he was wearing. He posted on Facebook to find a job as a beekeeper, but he was overqualified. And then a lady from Manchester gave him one of her hips, and from this he started a business. He built two more out of recycled wood. Now he has 17. In 2017, he launched the Boost Project, a beekeeping training course with aims to help refugees and the employed making money from honey.
It says Dr. Alsos was interviewed about the project on BBC Radio's On Your Farm program. He believes that bees are good for the soul. No? So he was himself a refugee mhm, from Syria. But that country has war issues, so that's why people run away from that country, no? And they become refugees and immigrants. Okay, so use the prompts to make questions about Dr. Alsaus. Then ask and answer with your partner, right? Mhm. So questions, it can be in past simple or it can be in past continuous, sorry, or uh, past perfect continuous. Yeah. So try to make the questions. Yeah, I'll give you 4 minutes. We have 4 minutes left before 10 o'clock. So try to do the you know, And we will check, listen and check, no? And if you finish this activity, then we move on to the next one, match line A with B to tell Dr. Also's story. Read the story out loud with your partner and name the tense it is being used. But first, the questions, guys. Try to make the questions. Remember, auxiliaries are different. It could be did or had or was and where. Yeah. You have three options here. You can also make negative questions. Why didn't you? Why hadn't you? Why wasn't he? Why weren't you? Etc. In this case, we are talking about third person, Dr. Alsus, no? So it has to be he.
Three point one. The bee professor. 1.
Why did Dr. Alsus leave his country?
Because war broke out.
2.
What had he been doing at Damascus University?
He'd been researching bees.
3.
What happened to his beehives?
They were all destroyed.
4.
Why did he go to England?
Because his daughter, Roseanne, had already moved there.
5.
Where was Roseanne living when he arrived?
In Huddersfield in the northwest.
6.
Why couldn't he find a job as a beekeeper?
Because he was overqualified.
7.
How was he helped to start a business?
A lady from Manchester gave him a beehive.
8.
When and why did he launch the Buzz Project?
He launched it last year to train refugees and the unemployed in beekeeping.
Okay, one more time. So some of them are impassive, no? And there's
3.1.
one that is with
The bee professor.
modal verb could
1.
in past.
Why
In
did
negative.
Dr. Alsus leave his country?
Because war broke out.
2.
What had he been doing at Damascus University?
He'd been researching bees.
3.
What happened to his beehives?
They were all destroyed.
4.
Why did he go to England?
Because his daughter, Roseanne, had already moved there.
5.
Where was Roseanne living when he arrived?
In Huddersfield in the northwest.
6.
Why couldn't he find a job as a beekeeper?
Because he was overqualified.
7.
How was he helped to start a business?
A lady from Manchester gave him a beehive.
8.
When and why did he launch the Buzz Project?
He launched it last year to train refugees and the unemployed in beekeeping.
Okay, so did you finish?
Yes.
So very important to write the auxiliaries, guys. Here we have the auxiliaries. So if it's a completed action, did also leave his country. Because of war broke, no? Because of war broke. What had he been doing? Had he been doing past perfect continuous, past perfect continuous? He'd been researching bees. What happened to his bees? In this case, it isn't necessary to write an auxiliary or something before, because it's That's the rule of this question. What happened? Questions like this, what happened or who, and we don't know the person, we don't know who did it, then it is necessary to write or to add an auxiliary. Yeah. So what happened to the bee? They were all destroyed. Number 4, why did he go to England? Why did he go to England? No. Then we have the rest. Number 5. Number 5, it says where was Raisin living, or where was he living when he arrived? Yes, in Huddersfield in the northwest. No, why couldn't he find? Yeah, you can say couldn't he find, or why didn't he find? Yeah, both are correct. Didn't he find or couldn't he find? He was overqualified. Who was he helped to start? Yeah, in that context, it is passive voice. Yeah, so because someone else helped him, but here we want to emphasize the person who was he helped to start his business. A lady from Manchester gave him a beehive. Yeah, and when and why did he launch the bus project? No, he launched it last year to train refugees and the unemployed beekeeping. Yeah, unemployed beekeeping. Okay, we erase the answers here. That is all right. So next activity, it says match line A with B to tell about Dr. Lau's story. Read the story aloud to your partner. Name the tense here. According to the reading. Remember, according to the reading. So then we have here an explanation of grammar. I want you to explain before we continue the topic about narrative tenses. No. All right. So past simple and present perfect. Yeah, past simple differs from 3 uses of the present perfect. The past simple refers to finished actions or past actions, or like past routines that we have. No, Shakespeare wrote plays, no, or wrote poems. Now he's dead, obviously, we know. Then we have present perfect. We already know what is present perfect. I've written a few short stories. I'm alive. Thanks God. Yeah, I'm alive. There is no present result here for past. I hurt my back, but it's better now. Yeah, I've hurt my back and it hurts now. No, that there's a consequence in this case with present perfect. No, it refers to a definite past. I saw him when last night, on Monday, 2 weeks ago at 8 o'clock. Yes, so that is past. And well, with present perfect, it's a bit different. I've seen him recently, before, since January, yet, for months. I haven't seen him, never. So depending on the expressions, it's easier to identify or when to use that, which tense, not past simple and present perfect. Well, past simple is used to express finished action in the past. Columbus, well, actually it wasn't Columbus. Vikings discovered America before him. No? Or we can say Columbus discovered America in 1494. Okay, so that is the past tense. Yeah, to express actions which follow each other in a story. I heard voices coming from downstairs, so I put on my dressing, go on, and went to investigate. No, to express past or a state or habit. When I was a child, we lived in a small house by the sea. Every day, I walked for miles on the beach with my dog. No, those were habits in the past. Or routines. Past continuous is used to express an activity progress before and probably after a time in past. No? Okay, in other words, yeah, we have sometimes expression like this, 4 o'clock. I phoned at 4 o'clock, but you didn't answer. What were you doing? Yeah, to set an scene of past situation or an activity. Sometimes it is when you are describing an anecdote or putting more details in a story. That's when we use past continuous. The cottage was looking so cozy. A fire was burning in the grate. Music was playing from the kitchen. Were coming the most delicious smells. No, and sometimes it gives you the reader is more interesting. Yeah, rather than events like that. Sometimes it is boring. So that's why we use past continuous. Mhm. To express an interrupted past activity. Yeah, when another action interrupts other. No, I was having a bath when the phone rang. Yeah, uh, my friends and I were having lunch or were eating something when the earthquake happened. No? To express an incomplete activity in the past. Incomplete. Yeah, I was reading a book during the flight. Well, I didn't finish. That is incomplete, but in the past. Then if you compare this with past simple, I watched a film during the flight, then you finish the movie. No, you finish the movie. To express an activity that was in a progress at very moment during a period of time. Example, I was working all day yesterday. I was working all day yesterday. They were fighting for the whole of the holiday. Yeah, they were fighting to express an activity that was in progress at every moment during a period of time. Notes, the past simple expresses past actions as simple, completed, or complete facts, whereas the past continuous give past activities and duration. For example, I can say, what did you do last night? All right, I stay at home and watch football. That's it. I phoned you last night, but there was no reply. Oh, okay. I was watching football and my phone was off. Sorry. Yes. And sometimes you give more details, no, when you are expressing past continuous. Notice how these tenses, these questions and answer in past continuous and past simple refer to different times. All right. When we arrived, Jan was ironing. She stopped ironing and made some coffee. What was she doing when we arrived? Well, she was ironing. What did she do when we arrived? She made some coffee. Yeah, this was moments ago I arrived. So he was doing something, an activity. The second one, what did she do when we arrived? It means after we arrived, he did something. What did he do after? Yeah, one is before and the other after. And that's where the past perfect comes. No, past perfect is used when we look back to a time in the past and refers to an action that happened before. Then what is that? Okay, so what is that? Just the first action that happened before another. Okay, we have an example. Kate was fed up. He'd been looking for a job for months, but he'd found nothing. The continuous refers to a longer actions or repeated activities. Yeah, the continuous refers to longer actions and repeated activities. The simple, the past perfect simple, refers to shorter and complete facts. Yeah, for example, he lost his job and his wife had left him. Since then, he'd been sleeping rough and he'd been eating properly. He hadn't been eating properly. As I said before, it is kind of similar to past continuous, but you have to give more, even more details, no, of the action. The past perfect can refer to a definite as well as indefinite time, no? I knew his face immediately. I'd first met him in October 1993. Yes, I recognized her face. I'd seen her somewhere before. Indefinite, yeah, definite before, after. All right, so more, yes, more past perfect and past perfect simple. Here we have verbs in past simple tell a story in chronological order. Yeah, events one after another. Then you have here a small text. John worked hard all day to prepare for the party. Everyone had a good time. Even the food was all right. Unfortunately, Andy upset Peter. That is a verb. So Peter left early. Pat came looking for Peter, but he wasn't there. It was a great party. John sat and looked at all the mess. He felt tired. It was time for bed. Yeah, sorry. It was a bit fast, but it's one event after another. No? By using past perfect, the speaker or the writer can tell a story in a different order. Yes, you see, it's a different. For example, I can say, John sat and looked at the mess. Look at the mess here. It had been a great party. It had been a great party, and everyone had had a good time. Even the food had been all right. Unfortunately, Nick upset Pete, so Pete left early. Dave came looking for Peter, but he'd already gone. John felt tired. He'd been working all day to prepare for the party. It was time for bed. You see, you add like more emphasis, and it's much more interesting if you put, and the event orders change. No, they change because they happen before. Yeah, and you're giving more details. For reasons of time, for reasons of style, it is necessary to have every verb in the past perfect. Yes. For example, I can say, once the time of past in past has been established, the past simple can be used as long as there is no ambiguity. Yeah. And now that you guys are in this level, it's highly recommendable to give more details with past perfect. Yes. So we can use time conjunctions to show that two actions happen one after another. Usually the past perfect is not necessary in these cases. No, after I had a bath, or after I had a bath, I went to bed. As soon as the guests left or had left, I started tidying up. I sat outside until the sun had gone or went down. Mhm. Yes, in those cases, both are correct and they mean the same. No, the past perfect can emphasize that the first action was completed before the second action started. For example, I can say, when I had read the paper, I threw it away. Or I can say, I threw it away because I had read the paper. We stayed up until all the beer had gone. Yeah, in this case, it is emphasizing. No, it is putting emphasis on the first action. Was completed before another. Then two verbs in past simple can suggest that the first action led into another, or that one caused the other to happen. Okay, let's put it in sentences, right? Just let me close this. When I heard the news, I burst out crying. I burst out crying. As soon as the alarm went off, I got up. Then we have past perfect is more common with when because it is ambiguous. The other conjunctions are more specific, so the past perfect is not so essential. No, as soon as all the girls left, I tidied the house. Before I met you, I didn't know the meaning of happiness. Yeah. We When I opened the door, the cat jumped out. Or when I opened the email, I made another cup of tea. Very good. Okay, so this is the past perfect tenses, guys. All right. Very good. Okay, I had to explain that before. All right. Okay, let's continue with our unit. Well, let me turn off my camera so I can click on this. Yeah. All right. We're going to give a break here. Only 15 minutes. So it's 10:18 maximum. You have to be back at 10:35. Yes. So we can do this activity and finish the class with the copies that I shared with you. So it is 10:20, 10:35. Please be punctual so we can finish the class early. All right, guys? Break. Yeah, see you in a bit.